Hello, readers. My name is William R. Kelson, or Bill Kelson, and I am a research assistant professor at the University of Hong Kong. My article, Manias, Panics, and Land, the property bubbles of the Great Chinese Crash of the 1880s, examines two linked housing market crashes, one in Hong Kong in 1881 and one in Shanghai in 1883. Now, historians researching the financial crisis of the 1880s in China have generally tended to focus on the stock market, not the housing market, and especially on the collapse of China's very first stock market in 1883, which was, of course, important. And as I show in my article, stocks are really only half the story. The 1880s crash in China also entailed the bursting of two very large asset price bubbles in urban property, in Hong Kong and in Shanghai. And these bubbles have long been underappreciated in Chinese history as well as in global economic history. In the article, I draw on what patchwork data historians have, as well as on qualitative sources from global archives. I then analyze this evidence using economic theory and using global historical comparison. I do so to reconstruct a more complete history, not just of the crisis, but also of the entire boom-bust cycle in Chinese housing from about 1866 to 1885. In that context, I argue that the fact that the 1883 crash was a housing crisis, as well as a share sell-off, suggests that it was no isolated bout of speculation. That is, it was not divorced from underlying economic fundamentals, as some have suggested. In other words, the 1880s crash was endogenous to the late Qing economy itself, and it triggered a fundamental economic depression, and one deeply bound up with Qing China's integration into global capitalism.